111 million people estimated killed under communism in China. 111 million. Can we do that on a calculator? How many times does 100,000, how many times does 100,000 divide into 111 million? How many times? So you can't even imagine it. And it's just nothing. And the left are these monsters. They have killed 80% of the people killed by governments the last 200 years. They're the ones that are murderous from the French Revolution on. They're the ones, they're the plague, they're the system, they're the organized evil, and they strut around all sanctimonious and arrogant and tell everybody how bad they are because patriarchy and masculinity is in a front, and families are in a front, and nuclear families are in a front, and prosperity's in a front. To these criminals that want to guilt all us into going along with all their garbage. Well, I'm not going along with it. Good news, Tommy Robinson has been ordered released from jail. We're not even sure if that's happened yet. I'm talking to his folks, getting information as it unfolds. Because as we said and others pointed out, under common law and under British law and under U.S. law, he didn't even have a real hearing. He was, in less than 1 hour after he was arrested, he was put into prison for saying he covered a trial of Islamic pedophile gangs, which he didn't even cover it. I mean, you're not supposed to go inside and say what you heard because there's minors or whatever involved to protect the children. We can't talk about the pedos, of course. But you do notice the top U.S. cardinal just went down for all the pedo stuff, and none of this. There he is. So now he has been released. So this is all breaking. We'll show you some of that video. It's posted up on Infowars.com. The poor guy gets out of jail and they're jumping on him just as soon as he walks out. It's just getting crazy. So that's all been posted to Infowars.com and Newswars.com. But I really started the hour off hammering that big U.S. corporations didn't just start doing this. The Rockefellers, the globalists said, China's the model. They didn't have running water 60 years ago. The globalists went in, built it all up, set it up with one-sided tariffs, shipped all our jobs over there, and it's a horrible authoritarian nightmare system. And now they are basing the tech companies over there to launch censorship and control against America. The globalists have demographically bet on Communist China and radical Islam just because of demographic numbers. And they're not trying to get another earpiece during the break. This has been doing this for 2 days. It just keeps popping out. I don't know what's going on. Excuse me. I just keep forgetting to ask for that, so I'm going to ask now. So demographically, they have decided to make this move. It's been done. We've been sold out. And then Trump's in there valiantly trying to fix it without getting too extreme, because that could tank the stock market if he said, ladies and gentlemen, our entire government database was given to China. All our secrets were wide open. They have way more industrial might than we do. We've been totally sold out. They've got their operatives in charge of almost every university. The Council on Foreign Relations directs it. America is basically in a horrible position. But if you go to Davos or you watch the Davos coverage, they admit all of that. The outgoing head of Goldman Sachs made big jokes earlier this year about, you'll never bring America back to Trump. Oh, yeah. Oh, you're going to build infrastructure. Aha, I just got back from China. America ain't coming back. You're like, whoa. But in the corridors of the Eastern elite and the coastal elite, not the people that live there, but the elites that stay there and control it and suck off everybody, they just have a predatory disdain because we were marked as the enemy. And one thing about war is you demonize your enemy. Because most people aren't psychopaths. They're just mercenary follower cowards. So they want to believe what they're destroying is bad. So the universities and Hollywood and the culture is America's bad, America's evil, America sucks, get rid of America, families are bad, men and women are bad. Teach your 5-year-old how to be gay. And I'm not attacking people that aren't heterosexual, but in China, they execute you if you're gay. They say they don't allow Hollywood movies in. They're banned that promote men with men, women with women. They say it is a U.S. plot, look it up, to undermine them and bring China down. But then China funds Hollywood doing it here. And then every time I report that admitted fact, they'll have Pink News or whatever go, Jones, another homophobe rant, you know, said that gays need to be killed. Didn't say that. China, your God. Islam, your God. What the left worships and apologizes for. Communist China and Islam murders you. And it's so sick, China owns Hollywood and finances it because they believe it'll destroy the country. Whether you think that's true or not, they're doing it. They're real. They killed 111 million people. 80-something million under Mao. Got it? They're really dangerous, man. They're monsters. Imagine if aliens attacked the Earth and killed 100 million people. There'd be statues everywhere against the war against them, and we'd hate the aliens, whatever they were, and, you know, everyone would know about the aliens. But as Stalin said, you kill 10,000 people, it's a statistic. You kill one man or woman or child, they're a martyr. The actual quote is, one man's death is a tragedy, 10,000 deaths is a statistic, and it's totally true. How many football stadiums of 100,000 people are 111 million people estimated killed under communism in China? 111 million. Can we do that on a calculator? How many times does 100,000, how many times does 100,000 divide into 111 million? How many times? So you can't even imagine it. And it's just nothing. And the left are these monsters. They have killed 80% of the people killed by governments the last 200 years. They're the ones that are murderous from the French Revolution on. They're the ones, they're the plague. They're the system. They're the organized evil. And they strut around all sanctimonious and arrogant and tell everybody how bad they are because patriarchy and masculinity is in a front and families are in a front and nuclear families are in a front and prosperity's in a front. To these criminals that want to guilt all us into going along with all their garbage. Well, I'm not going along with it. I have the crew getting together every time I have said that I believe people died at Sandy Hook, and every time I've said I care for their families, and every time I've apologized if investigations and things that we had to do were hurtful to folks years ago, and none of the media will pick it up or carry it. They'll just lie about what I've said and misrepresent to you because the media thinks you're stupid. But coming up today in court with my lawyers, they're going to play the clips, and they're going to have it all. But don't worry, there'll be none of it on the news. Zero. The discipline of the mainstream media and their hate of the truth and their hatred of America and their hatred of Christians and their hatred of prosperity and their just criminal will is unbelievable. But we're breaking their will thanks to you and thanks to Trump. Now, that said, I'm going to play some of those clips I've actually said to the families over the years coming up, and we've got a bunch of special guests joining us. One of these guests is so controversial, and I've been trying to vet it. It's been all over the news, so I'm not saying it's all true or accurate. But the guy has a lot to lose if it isn't true, and I know what's going on in Hollywood, and he's that pretty big, you know, he's been in a lot of big movies and stuff, actor who is going to be coming on the third hour to talk about the pedophilia in Hollywood. My only issue is there's already so much of it documented. Why to go to somebody who's just, you know, who's named a bunch of big names and what these people offered them to do, the things they said to them, the things they wanted them to do. What's crazy is from my own research, what he says is very accurate. From the ways they entice you. Like, if you want the really big role, you got to screw a 10-year-old. And you're like, are you joking? They're like, maybe I am, maybe I'm not. And you're like, well, I'm about to kick your ass. Oh, I'm just joking. Because I've been in Hollywood at A-list parties, which you think are so cool. Like, there was no oxygen. They were all unhappy and neurotic. Everybody's like mentally ill. You couldn't pay me to be around. That's why I got away from it all. I thought it was a way to reach out to people. It's not. And folks are like, well, you probably want to get out of here before the kids arrive. And I'm like, yeah, you're joking around. They're like, I don't know. I think it's time for us to go. And then, you know, you walk into back rooms at restaurants, and it's like, these girls are sure pretty, man, but I think they're about 16 years old, you know? And that's out in the open. And my soul's like, get out of here. So I don't know. I'm thinking about having him on. He set up the third hour. I don't know. There's just so much going on. I mean, why? They keep telling me plug. Even though we're under unmitigated attack, and they're trying to shut us down everywhere. Hey, we got great products, just like our information's world-changing. Our products, whether it's air filtration, water filtration, supplements, you name it, they're all available at InfoWarsStore.com. And I don't know how everybody isn't rushing into the products. A lot of people are, but this is an expensive war to prosecute. A very, very expensive war to run a media operation. They want to shut it down. They want to stop it because they know that we're standing up for what's right and telling the truth. And InfoWarsStore.com, InfoWarsLife.com, 888-253-3139. It's all there, ladies and gentlemen, and the supplements and the 40% off on the Honor Roll and the fish oil and the krill oil, the newest products. Check it out today and sign up for auto ship, an additional 10% off. You know, President Trump talks about how we need to be trailblazers, how we need to be outsiders, how we need to expose the current stagnant system that's been suppressing us, wanting to make us poor so it can consolidate control and buy us up for pennies on the dollar. That really is the globalist system. And he's absolutely right. So it is an honor to be persecuted by the globalists and to be lied about and to be demonized. But it's an honor to draw them out so we can show who they are so that you take action and you take the country back politically, culturally, spiritually, financially. Another hero is Julian Assange, who's been in solitary confinement in a closet-sized room. They converted a closet with a bed and enough room for a laptop. They took that away over a year ago. No communication with the outside. It's all been one hell of a time for him, and he was very bipartisan in that he exposed Republicans, he exposed Democrats. He very judiciously released information that exposed criminal activity of the NSA, criminal activity of the CIA, illegal spying on Congress, illegal spying on Trump, illegal spying on me. But they had my home number, my old cell, my new cell, and my office line. And they had Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago private apartment number that I had. Total proof of Obama spying on Trump and yours truly a decade ago. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the real deal. And America's had freedom so long, people don't recognize real tyranny when it hits them right between the eyes. But everyone needs to go to Infowars.com. The article is right up there at the top of the page, red link. Petition to Trump, pardon Julian Assange. And we go over the fact that he engaged in regular journalistic activity and did a wonderful job being advised by top journalism professors around the world, and that he was very, very fair about what he did, and that you need to send the message that he's a hero. Now, I know they claim he's a Russian agent with no evidence and all the rest of that garbage, even though they've released stuff on Russia and Israel as well, and China. But it doesn't matter. It's the right thing to do. And you wouldn't have gotten elected without Drudge. You wouldn't have gotten elected without what you've done, obviously. You can't say it's any one person, but without any of us together, it wouldn't have happened. So we need the president to pardon Julian Assange. And you said in a speech, I don't care who got her illegal server. It's illegal. It's about what she did that's wrong. Don't change the subject. Go back to that instinct, sir. But you told Assange, release it. You said release more stuff. And he's in the crosshairs. And he needs to be pardoned if he's brought back to the United States.
Survival Shield X2 Nascent Iodine. If you're interested in healthy thyroid, if you're interested in well-being, if you're interested in having a higher IQ, which this has been linked to, get your powerful Survival Shield X2 at InfoWarsStore.com.